In relationships, we all face moments when our willpower just isn't enough. You try your best to stay patient, be understanding, or keep the peace, but sometimes, it all falls apart. And that's okay. In fact, research shows that 70% of relationships experience serious challenges, but those who tackle them together grow stronger. Surprising, right? What if you could handle those tough moments differently? What if you didn't have to rely on sheer willpower to keep going? The truth is, willpower alone won't always save your relationship. You need strategies, real, practical ways to move past struggles and create deeper, lasting love. In this video, we'll explore the science behind love, vulnerability, and connection, showing you why letting go and embracing change can be the key to a happier relationship. You'll discover how letting go of unrealistic expectations, embracing vulnerability, and being present with your partner can transform your love life. Stick around for some shocking insights that will change the way you see relationships forever. Chapter 1: Embrace the vulnerability. Why weakness is strength. When it comes to relationships, we often think that showing weakness or vulnerability is a sign of failure. But here's the truth: vulnerability is actually a key to stronger, healthier relationships. In fact, research from the University of Houston shows that vulnerability is strongly linked to better communication and deeper emotional intimacy. When we open up to our partners, we allow them to see our true selves, which builds trust. Being vulnerable doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're strong enough to be real. Brené Brown, a research professor at the University of Houston, says, "Vulnerability is not winning or losing, it's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. That's true strength." When we allow ourselves to be imperfect, it creates room for our relationships to grow in authentic ways. Here's the thing: no one is perfect, and pretending we are only puts a barrier between us and the people we love. But being vulnerable means you're willing to share your fears, your pain, and your struggles. This builds a sense of closeness that can't be achieved when we hide behind a facade. To practice vulnerability, start by sharing something small. Maybe it's about a fear or a past experience that's been holding you back. By opening up, you allow your partner to see your true self, and that is incredibly powerful. When you both share openly, you create a space where love and trust can flourish. A great strategy for embracing vulnerability is practicing active listening. Instead of just talking, focus on really hearing your partner's words, feelings, and concerns. This act alone strengthens emotional bonds and builds mutual understanding. When vulnerability feels scary, remember this: we are all human, and we all face struggles. By embracing those struggles together, we create a stronger foundation for our relationship. So next time you feel that urge to hide, resist it. Show up, be real, and embrace the beauty of vulnerability. Chapter 2: Switching Gears. How to find your flow together. Every relationship goes through tough times. When willpower fails, it can be difficult to keep the momentum going. But what if instead of forcing things, you could simply find a flow in your relationship? Psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi introduced the concept of flow as a state where we feel completely immersed and energized by an activity. This applies to relationships, too. When couples are in sync, everything seems to click. When you and your partner are in a state of flow, your connection feels effortless. You're both so attuned to each other that even small tasks feel like an adventure. This flow allows you to navigate challenges without the stress of pushing against resistance. It's about shifting from force to ease. How do you find flow together? First, you need to be present with each other. Studies show that couples who practice mindfulness, being fully engaged with their partner in the moment, report higher relationship satisfaction. In fact, research from the American Psychological Association shows that couples who meditate together are 60% more likely to report strong emotional connections. Start by setting aside time for activities that both of you enjoy. Whether it's cooking a meal together or going for a walk, these shared moments create opportunities for connection. Let the conversation flow naturally. Don't force topics or ideas. Just enjoy each other's company. Another great flow strategy is the mirroring technique. This involves reflecting each other's thoughts, feelings, and actions. It helps build empathy and understanding, and it strengthens the emotional bond. Research from the University of California found that couples who engage in active mirroring report feeling more connected and understood. Remember, the goal is not to fix the relationship, but to let it unfold naturally. Take a step back, allow space for both of you to breathe, and let love happen. When you stop trying to force it, you might find the connection you've been looking for all along. Chapter 3: Turn Guilt into Growth, Healing Through Compassion. When willpower fails, it's easy to fall into guilt. Maybe you said something hurtful in the heat of the moment, or perhaps you feel like you're not doing enough for your partner. But guilt only holds you back. It's compassion, not guilt, that heals and grows love. The first thing to understand is that guilt is a natural human emotion. It's a sign that you care and want to do better. But lingering in guilt only prevents growth. Psychologist Kristen Neff, a leading researcher on self-compassion, argues that people who practice self-compassion are more resilient and experience greater happiness. When you extend this same compassion to your partner, it can heal wounds and build a stronger bond. Here's how to shift from guilt to growth. Start by acknowledging your feelings without judgment. Understand that mistakes are part of being human. Instead of beating yourself up, take responsibility and make amends where needed. This shows your partner that you are committed to personal growth and to improving your relationship. An important strategy is to practice self-compassionate communication. When you talk about your mistakes, use kind language, not harsh words. For example, instead of saying, "I always mess things up," say, "I made a mistake and I'm working to improve." This shift in mindset can help you break free from guilt and focus on what truly matters, growing together. An essential step is forgiveness. Research shows that couples who forgive each other after conflicts report stronger relationships and higher levels of happiness. If you're feeling guilty, it's crucial to forgive yourself first. Only then can you truly move forward and create lasting change in your relationship. To wrap it up, remember that relationships are not about perfection, they're about growth. When willpower fails, let compassion and forgiveness guide you. This shift will not only heal the moment but also deepen your connection with your partner. You'll both come out stronger, happier, and more in tune with one another. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on love, happiness, and growing stronger together. Chapter 4: Rewriting the Script, Letting Go of Expectations for True Love. Expectations can make or break a relationship. When we hold on to rigid ideas of what love should look like, we set ourselves up for disappointment. According to Dr. John Gottman, a leading relationship researcher, unrealistic expectations can be one of the main reasons relationships fail. In his research, Gottman found that couples who are more flexible with their expectations tend to have stronger, longer-lasting relationships. One of the biggest relationship traps is expecting our partner to meet every need. No one person can be everything to you. Dr. Gary Chapman, author of The 5 Love Languages, explains that understanding and respecting each other's individual needs creates healthier relationships. Let go of the idea that your partner should be your everything. When you do, you'll see how much more freedom and joy it brings to both of you. To start letting go of expectations, try to focus on the present moment rather than the future. Worrying about what might happen in the relationship can prevent you from truly enjoying it. Research shows that couples who focus on present moment enjoyment are happier and more satisfied. So, if you find yourself stressing about the future, take a deep breath and remind yourself to focus on the now. Another important strategy is to practice acceptance. Psychologist Tara Brach teaches that radical acceptance, embracing both the good and the bad, is a key to building peace in relationships. Accepting your partner for who they are, not who you want them to be, allows for greater emotional freedom and less pressure. Letting go of expectations also means embracing spontaneity. Rather than sticking to a plan, be open to new experiences together. A 2019 study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that couples who engage in novel activities report stronger emotional bonds and higher relationship satisfaction. Ultimately, rewriting the script of your relationship means stepping away from rigid expectations and embracing the beauty of unpredictability. When you let go, you allow space for love to flourish naturally. Chapter 5: The Power of Pause, Why Stepping Back Brings You Closer. When your relationship is going through a rough patch, it's easy to want to solve everything right away. But sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is step back and take a pause. Research has shown that stepping back from conflict allows couples to regain clarity and perspective. The Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that taking a break during arguments can lead to more constructive solutions and healthier relationships. A pause doesn't mean running away from the problem, it means giving yourself and your partner the space to process emotions. This strategy is all about reducing emotional reactivity and allowing both partners to reflect calmly. Instead of reacting in the heat of the moment, you're giving yourself a chance to respond thoughtfully. It's important to communicate this pause to your partner. Set boundaries so that both of you understand the intention is to return to the conversation later, not to avoid it. According to the Gottman Institute, couples who establish clear communication during conflicts are much more likely to stay connected. If you agree on taking a break, ensure it's a temporary pause, not a permanent retreat. Another way to use the pause effectively is to engage in self-care. Studies show that couples who practice self-care are more likely to have better emotional regulation. Whether it's taking a walk, doing yoga, or just journaling, self-care helps you come back to your partner feeling grounded and ready to communicate. It's also helpful to set a time to reconnect after the pause. A study published in the Journal of Marriage and Family suggests that couples who schedule regular check-ins report stronger emotional bonds and better conflict resolution. By agreeing to revisit the issue at a later time, you reduce the risk of building resentment and emotional distance. Taking a pause isn't about avoiding problems, it's about creating the space to solve them better. By allowing both you and your partner to step back and recharge, you can approach the situation with fresh eyes and more compassion. Chapter 6: Love Beyond Effort. When willpower turns into surrender, sometimes, trying too hard to make things work can actually make them harder. We often think that the more effort we put into a relationship, the stronger it will be. But research tells us that too much effort can create tension and strain. Psychologist Dr. Eli Finkel, in his book The All or Nothing Marriage, explains that over time, if we put too much energy into fixing the relationship, we lose sight of the natural flow of love. The key here is shifting from forcing things to allowing things to unfold. Relationships work best when both partners surrender to the process of growth, rather than striving to control every aspect. Author and therapist Esther Perel says, "Desire is not the result of effort. Desire is the result of curiosity, play, and discovery. When we allow ourselves to be curious and open to what comes, the relationship blossoms without the weight of excessive effort." Letting go of effort doesn't mean giving up. It means moving from a place of ease rather than struggle. A study by the University of California found that couples who let go of rigid plans and allowed their relationships to evolve naturally reported a stronger emotional connection and higher overall happiness. Effortless love allows both people to grow without pushing each other into boxes. One strategy for this is to practice non-striving. In other words, stop forcing things to happen. Focus on enjoying the present and savoring your time together. This can lead to deeper intimacy and better understanding. In fact, couples who engage in less planning and more spontaneous, non-striving activities tend to experience greater satisfaction, according to research from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships. Another helpful approach is to embrace uncertainty. When we try too hard to control everything, we miss out on the beauty of not knowing what comes next. Instead of obsessing over the future of your relationship, focus on enjoying the journey. Author Alanda Button says, "The future is a mystery. Love's great power lies in accepting it." Surrendering to uncertainty makes room for growth and adventure in the relationship. Ultimately, love is about surrendering to what is, rather than pushing against what isn't. When willpower falters, let go. Trust the process, and know that when you allow your relationship to unfold naturally, it will be much more fulfilling and enduring. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on love, growth, and how to navigate the challenges of a lasting relationship.